Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. I know that I haven't really posted in a really long time and I'm really sorry about that. I've been so crazy and hectic busy with work, and then after work going home and taking care of my family, and then just on the weekends going to so many sporting events for my nieces and nephews, trying to support them. And I'm actually finally free for once to film a video. And if you hear a dog in the background, I don't know if you can see him at all. My mom's dog is somewhere over there. No, there he is, right there. Because I am at my mom's house, so I am filming on her front porch right now. But in today's video, we are going to go into Chapter 7, Part 2 of Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. So, yeah, let's get right into this video. This video may contain foul language and sensitive topics. Oh, if you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. And I'm sorry in advance, the sun is bright out. It is like 80 something degrees, so if I squint sometimes, sorry, but this is the only quiet place I could film at the moment. But let's get right into this video. Alrighty, here we go. File name: A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Season 2. Interview with Joanna Reynolds. Wave. Okay, before we get into the questions, Joanna, could you introduce yourself and Jamie a little? Of course, my name is... Sorry, Joanna, you don't need to speak directly into the microphone. It picks up just fine if you sit normally. Sorry, my name is Joanna Reynolds. I'm Jamie's mom. I have 3 children. Jamie is the oldest, my first. He just turned 24. His birthday was last week. We celebrated here, had Chinese takeout, and a red velvet cake. Connor just managed to fit in 24 candles on it. Oh, sorry, my other children. My daughter Zoe, she's 21 at college, and Connor, he's my baby, 18 and in his last year of high school. Sorry, that was terrible. Should I try it again? No, that's okay. It was perfect. This is just a raw interview. I'll edit all of this with sections of me talking and explaining in between, so you don't need to worry about consistency or sounding polished or anything. Okay. And some things I obviously already know the answer to, but I have to ask so we can present all the information in the episode. Like, for example, I'm going to ask you, does Jamie still live at home? I understand. Okay. Yes, Jamie still lives at home with me and my husband Arthur and my younger son Connor. And does he currently have a job? Yes, you know he works with your mom, Pip. I know, I just need you to say, oh, sorry, I forgot, let me try again. Yes, Jamie is currently working part-time as a receptionist at a local real estate agency, Proctor and Radcliffe Homes. He's been there for almost 3 months now. It was very kind of your mom to give him a job, Pip. I am very grateful. Since dropping out of college in his freshman year, Jamie's been struggling to find a job or keep the ones he's got. He's been a little lost the last couple of years, can't decide what he wants to do or what he's good at. We've tried helping him, but with Jamie, the more you push him towards something, the more he pulls away from it. That's why Arthur gets so frustrated with him, but I'm glad Jamie seems to be enjoying his job, at least for now. And would you say Jamie struggles to commit to things? Is that why he dropped out of college? Yes, I think that's part of the problem. He tried, he really did, but he found the pressure too much and just shut down. He had a panic attack during one of his exams. I think some people just aren't made out for that sort of academic environment. Jamie, he's a very sensitive boy. Man, I mean, you know him, Pip. Arthur worries that he's oversensitive, but he's been like that since he was a child. A very sweet little boy. All other mothers used to say so. Yeah, he's only ever been nice to me. He was never Connor's scary older brother or anything, and everyone else seems to like him. Speaking of, who are Jamie's closest friends? Any in Fairview? He still occasionally talks to one guy from college. I think he might have some internet friends too. He's always on that computer. Jamie's never been too good at friends. He makes fierce one-on-one friendships and falls in deep, so he's always devastated when they don't work out. I'd say his closest friend at the moment is Nat De Silva. I know Nat. Yes, of course. There's not many from their grade still living in Fairview, apart from Naomi Ward and Max Hastings. Sorry, I shouldn't bring him up, but Nat and Jamie seem to have a lot in common. Nat has also had issues at college and left early, and she's struggling to find a job she really wants because she's got a criminal record. I think they both feel left behind in this town, and it's nicer to be left behind with someone else. Everything that happened last year sort of brought them together too. Nat had been friendly with Sal Singh, and Jamie was friends with Andy Bell. He spent a lot of time with Andy during rehearsals for school plays. Jamie and Nat were just on the edge of everything that happened, and I think they bonded over it. They've become really close since last year. Talk all the time. She's probably Jamie's only real friend at the moment, though truth be told, I think Jamie sees her in a different way from how she sees him. What do you mean? Well, oh God, Jamie is going to be furious I'm saying this, but I did agree nothing was off limits. I know my son very well, and he's never been good at hiding his feelings. I could always tell by the way he talked about Nat, how he kept finding ways to bring her up in every single conversation, that he was enamored with her, smitten. They spoke on the phone almost every day, always texting, but of course things were different after Nat got a new boyfriend a couple months ago. I don't think Jamie ever mentioned the guy's name, but he was devastated. I found him crying in his room. He said it was because he had a stomach ache, but I knew. It wasn't the first time I'd seen him like that. I knew it was because his heart was broken, and it was probably about Nat. How long ago was this? Must have been early March. There were a couple of weeks without much contact, I think, but they're still friends. In fact, Jamie's always on his phone texting, and it must be with Nat because he jumps up so none of us can see. I can hear him up late sometimes too on the phone. By his voice, I can tell it's Nat he's talking to. Okay, thank you. I'll certainly talk to Nat as soon as I can. So Connor said to me that he's more worried about Jamie this time because he's been acting strangely the past few weeks, distant and short-tempered. Have you noticed the same thing? He hasn't quite been himself the past couple of weeks, up late, coming in at all hours, oversleeping and almost missing work, snapping at his brother when they normally get on so well. I think it's partly everything with Nat, but also, like I said, feeling like he's been left behind, watching all the people he went to school and college with starting successful careers, settling down with partners, moving out of their parents' houses. Jamie's very self-conscious. He's told me before he often feels worthless, never quite good enough. He's been struggling with his weight, too, over the past 6 months or so. I told him it doesn't matter as long as he's healthy and comfortable in his skin, but, well, you know how the world tries to make anyone over a certain size feel ashamed of that. I think Jamie's been unhappy for the past few weeks because he's comparing himself to everyone else, feeling like he'll never catch up, but I know he will. Sorry, Joanna, I don't want to ask this, but you don't think he could be at risk of harming himself? No, absolutely not. Jamie wouldn't do that to me, to his family. He wouldn't. That's not what this is, Pip. He's missing. He's not dead, and we will find him wherever he is. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's move on. Jamie went missing yesterday, Friday evening. Can you talk me through what happened during the day? Yes, I woke up around 9. My hours on Fridays are late. I don't start till 11. Arthur was already at work. He commutes, and Connor had already walked to school, but Jamie was still fast asleep. I told him he was going to be late for work, and he left the house about 20 past 9. Said he would grab breakfast from the cafe on the way. Then I went to work. Arthur left work early to go home in time for the memorial. He texted around 5 that he was home. I left work soon after and stopped by the supermarket and got home maybe 6 or 6:30. Did a quick turnaround, and then the 4 of us left for the memorial. What was Jamie wearing that evening? I can't remember. Excuse me. He was wearing jeans and his favorite shirt. It's burgundy and collarless, like the Peaky Blinders, Jamie always says. Shoes. His sneakers. White. Brand? Nike, I think. Did you drive to the memorial? Yes. And was Jamie acting strangely before the memorial at all? No, not really. He was quiet, but he was probably just thinking about Andy and Sal. Everyone was quiet. In fact, I think we had an almost silent car ride, and when we arrived at the pavilion around 7, Connor went to find his friends, you guys, and Jamie left too, said he was going to stand with Nat during the memorial. That was the last I saw him. I saw him after that. He did not find Nat. He did find Nat. He was with her and Naomi. After that, he came over to talk to Connor briefly. He seemed to be fine to me both times, and then during the memorial, before Ravi's dad spoke, Jamie walked past and knocked into me from behind. He seemed distracted, maybe even nervous. I don't know what he saw that made him want to struggle through the crowd right in the middle of the ceremony, but it had to be something. When was that? Maybe 10 past 8? So now you're the last person to see him? I guess I am for now. Do you know whether Jamie had any plans for after the memorial? No, I thought he'd go home, but today Connor told me that Jamie mentioned seeing Nat or something. Okay, I'll get that from Connor firsthand. Where did you go after the memorial? Arthur and I went out for dinner at to Bobby's Bar and Grill. You know, the place near Town Hall with some friends. The Lowe's aunt's parents and the Davises and the Morgans. You know, Miss Morgan and her husband. The date had been in the diary for ages. And when did you and Arthur get home? Well, we actually came back separately. I was driving, so I didn't drink. But some of our party who weren't supposed to be drinking said they needed one after the memorial. I said I dropped the Lowe's and the Morgans home so they could drink. Of course that meant the car was full, but Arthur didn't mind walking home. It isn't far. What time did you leave the restaurant? I think we left just before 11. Everyone was tired and it felt wrong staying out too late enjoying ourselves after the memorial. The Lowe's live in town, as you know, but the Morgans are out on Springdale, and Arthur says I'm terrible when it comes to chatting, so I didn't get back until 12:15 at least. Connor and Arthur were there in bed, but no, Jamie. I texted him before I went to sleep. Look, I'll read what I said. Going to bed now, sweetie. Will you be home soon? That was at 12:36. Look it. Never delivered. It hasn't gone through. The text still hasn't gone through? No, that's bad, isn't it? His phone is still off, and it must have already been off before 12:36 or something bad. Please don't get upset, Joanna, okay? Let's stop there. I'm going to leave that off right there. Chapter 7 is an extremely long chapter, so there will be a third part to it, but I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.